Waiting. Okay, now it says I'm live. Welcome, everybody, to the MBLEx test prep live stream. I forgot to do my phone, of course. And it's always YouTube telling me, "Hey, you're live." Like, yes, I'm aware. I'm live. Okay, so a couple weeks ago, I posted a video saying for every 10 copies of my study guide, where is it? Right here. The MBLEx Test Prep Comprehensive Study Guide and Workbook 2019 edition. For every 10 I sold on eBay, one person that bought it would get their copy for free. I would refund their copy. So I have sold 10. So let's see. One person bought like 4 of them. So we're going to do that drawing. And this is the MBLEx Test Prep live stream. I suppose if you have any questions or anything about the MBLEx while I'm doing this, just leave them in the comment section and I will be sure to answer them as I get them. We can talk about anything regarding the MBLEx, any material you want me to go over, anything like that. Okay, so I got, listen, a couple of these I'm not going to be able to pronounce. I got McKinsey. Hopefully these are facing the right way. Corey. Who else? Martin. Abraham. Who else? Henrietta. If anybody knows how to pronounce this one, I'm not even going to try. Is it Polish? Is that a Polish name? I don't know. And Shalanda. Okay, so I am going to randomly draw one of these. I do have an envelope right here that I will just stick all of these into. This envelope. Stick them all in here. And they're all in there. Then I will shake it like a Polaroid picture. As what was it? Outcast once said. I feel like I'm Andre 3000 right now, shaking it. I'm not sure how well that worked. Okay. So I am now drawing the person that gets one copy, their copy of the MBLEx Test Prep Complete Study Guide for the MBLEx 2019 edition. Absolutely free. Ready? Okay, here we go. I got one, and it is Mackenzie. So Mackenzie, of course, I'm not going to reveal your last name, but I will be refunding that that purchase back to you. Thank you very much for that purchase. If you were referred to the eBay page by the YouTube video. So again, that offer still stands. If you are looking for the best study guide on the planet for the MBLEx, I got you covered. This one right here. MBLEx Test Prep Comprehensive Study Guide and Workbook 2019 edition. You can find this on eBay. All you have to do is search for MBLEx Test Prep Complete Study Guide for MBLEx 2019 edition, or just search for my name, David Merlino, LMT. If you don't see my name on it, it's not my book. Okay. All you have to do is buy it from the seller, MBLEx Test Prep. That's me. For every 10 copies that I sell, one person, just like Mackenzie, will get their copy for free. Okay. So, you know, I talk about this book all the damn time. You're not going to get these kind of pictures, this kind of information really anywhere else. What can I see? There's athlete's foot. What's that? It's probably lupus. That's a goiter. See on that page. Peptic ulcer right here. Peptic ulcer. So definitely go pick up your copy. It's only $29.99 right now, which is still half off the list price. So buy that. For every 10 that I sell, one person gets their copy for free. So head over to eBay, search for MBLEx Test Prep, buy this book. Make sure it's the 2019 edition. Make sure it's my book, me, and buy it from the seller, MBLEx Test Prep. It's just that easy. I get it shipped out really quick too, because I work at home. I got nothing else to do. You know, it's just writing. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this is the MBLEx Test Prep live stream. So if you have any questions about the MBLEx, any information you want me to go over, now's the time. Now is the time, because I ain't gonna be here forever. As Vin Scully once said, we're all day to day. Nobody gets that reference. Vin Scully, voice of the Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm not a big baseball guy. I'm all about football. So I got my Denver Broncos tank top. I went to the gym earlier. Did some concentric and eccentric contractions. Not so much the isometric contractions. Not exactly my favorite thing to do, but yeah. So I don't know. We can talk about that if you want. You guys got to send me questions. You gotta comment something. Otherwise, I'm just gonna ramble, and I'm not sure you really want me to keep rambling because I could talk. I can talk. Speaking of talking, let's do a little. Let's do some impromptu quizzing, I suppose. What is the structure in the body? I know we have numerous structures. What is the main structure in the body that produces sound? The sound that you use when you speak creates our voice. What is the structure in our body that produces sound? What do you think? That also is covered in my book, the MBLEx Test Prep Complete Study Guide for MBLEx 2019 edition. What structure in the body is responsible for producing sound that allows us to speak? Speak verbally, of course. I mean, we all have body language and stuff, and sign language. I did a little research on sign language the other day, and too complicated for me. I know that garden. I think that is flower. I don't know. It's something like that. I remember that because it's ridiculous. Okay, the structure in the body that produces sound that lets us actually verbally speak is the larynx, also called the voice box. So our voice or speech, I should say, speech is made by a combination of the larynx and the tongue. So our tongue kind of and how we move our mouth and how we kind of manipulate our lips and our cheeks and how all of that kind of corresponds. But the larynx is what air moves over. When the air moves over the larynx, it vibrates. And when it vibrates, that's what produces the pitch of your voice, either high or low or really high or really low. I don't know how low or high those actually were. I apologize. I know that was terrible. I'm not a singer. It's just not what I do. But air moves over the larynx, and the larynx is called the voice box. Inside the voice box is our vocal cords, and that produces that vibrates, and the vibration is what produces the sound that you need for speech. Okay, so the larynx. Now, when you have laryngitis, of course, you have inflammation of the larynx. So your vocal cords are pretty inflamed. Your larynx is inflamed. And when that happens, it's kind of difficult for air to move over the vocal cords and produce vibration. So that's why if you have laryngitis, you might not be able to speak very well. Which happened once to me. It wasn't infectious laryngitis for some reason. I just couldn't talk. Or maybe it was infected. I don't know. I wasn't sick. I didn't have a fever or anything. I just couldn't talk, which was awesome when I was actually teaching a class, and I'm struggling to say anything. And I'm like, can you understand me? And they're like, yes, we can understand you. Then one student in that class, he called me a very not nice name, and I had recovered at that point, and I let him hear it for sure. Yeah, that was fun teaching with laryngitis. So, what do you think? Are there any questions? Anybody have any questions? I really hope that made sense. Okay. So let's talk about what do you want to talk about? Like I said, if you don't ask me questions, I'm just going to keep talking. And I'm not sure you want that to happen. Do you? Because I'll do it. Don't tempt me. Okay. I was, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, back in, hold on, August. Wow, time flies. Back in August, I went to Santa Monica, recorded a podcast about massage therapy, and I I even told the guy beforehand, like, this conversation is not going to go how you think it's going to go. I know it's going to veer off into some weird directions because of my history as a massage therapist, and the trajectory of my career, where it started versus where I am now, and it was a fun conversation for sure. That should be out at some point in October. It is October now. It's October 7th, sometime this month, he said. If not this month, then next month it'll be out. So I will let you know when it's available. And you can go listen to this conversation that I have about massage therapy and about my career and everything that I do now. It's pretty fun. Shireen, hello, Shireen. Of course, I recognize Shireen. Purchase your MBLEx study guide. Thank you very much. I don't have laptops, so can I get access to the material on my phone? You can. All you have to do, there is a page in the study guide that provides you with the URL for all of the online materials, like the unlimited practice tests, the flashcards, the video lectures, all of that stuff. Video lectures, by the way, I should be updating hopefully sometime soon. It takes a lot of work, and I got a baby, and he loves to make noise. And I got another kid who loves to make noise. So finding some quiet time is a little difficult sometimes, but I will be updating those hopefully by the end of the year, hopefully. So you can absolutely use Google Chrome. By the way, don't use like Safari or any other web browser. Use Google Chrome, because that's what works best with my online materials. And I've had a lot of people say, "Well, I'm using Internet Explorer." I'm like, "Why are you still using Internet Explorer when you should have stopped using Internet Explorer 10 years ago?" Computer nerd in me, I suppose. So yes, use Google Chrome. You can use it on your phone for sure. Just type in the URL that I have provided in the book, and it should come up. I find it works best in landscape mode. So turn your phone sideways, which is how you should be taking pictures and stuff. So do that. Okay. Okay, thanks. I learned more from the videos because I can listen to them at work. Thank you. Wish you could tutor me. Lol, you're awesome. I do offer tutoring. I offer tutoring, everybody, if you are interested in getting tutored. My availability, because of my children and my wife works, she's still at work, actually, for another hour or so, 50 minutes. My availability is not what I would like it to be, but on the weekends, I am available. Saturdays are what I can do. Fridays too. I can do Fridays or Saturdays, up to 5 or 6 hours a day. So if you are interested in getting tutoring, one-on-one tutoring, I do offer that. Prices, we can negotiate some prices, but I value my time. So if you want tutoring, it's going to cost you, but it's worth it. I mean, you and me, one-on-one. You got questions, I got answers. We can get you to pass that test. I've had several people get tutoring from me, and it seems to work out pretty well. So definitely, if you're interested, send me an email, david@mblextestprep.com, and I will respond. I respond to everybody. As far as I know, I respond to everybody. I got a review on my book. This book, for some reason, they were very upset because they said they sent me an email asking technology questions, and I didn't respond because of that. I'm like, I respond to everybody. What are you talking about? Anyway, whatever. So anyways, yes, I do offer tutoring. So if you are looking for tutoring, I'm your guy. Don't go anywhere else. I'm your guy. david@mblextestprep.com. Feel free to email me anytime with any questions you have about anything. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, I did get a new tattoo. I'm sure many of you have noticed that I do get tattoos. I've got a lot of them, and let me throw my leg up here. Ugh, yeah, I got tattoos. So I did get a new one. I did post a photo and asked a question on my Facebook page. You should be following me on Facebook, by the way. Facebook, just search for MBLEx Test Prep. You'll see the thing. I said I got a new tattoo. Over time, it'll fade. Why do tattoos fade? And I got no response. Apparently, nobody knows why tattoos fade. Does anybody, any of the people watching right now, do you know why tattoos fade? What do you think? Why do tattoos fade? I'll give you a hint. How about this? Here's a hint. It has something to do with our body's second line of defense. Second line of defense. So what's our first line of defense? Well, first line of defense is our skin and mucous membranes, right? So we got three lines of defense. First line of defense is what protects us from physical trauma, right? Our skin, our mucous membranes. Our mucous membranes produce mucus, of course, and that helps to, especially in the nasal passages, in the throat, in the trachea, the esophagus, the bronchial tubes, of course. The mucus helps to trap dirt and debris. In the stomach, our mucus the stomach acid is so acidic it will actually eat through the stomach if the stomach doesn't replace this lining of mucus that it has on the inside of the stomach every couple days. So that's a way for our body to protect the body from the body. It's just one of those weird things that happen. So you don't want. Okay, what happened? Well, I just showed you. I just showed you a couple minutes ago in my study guide. What happens if maybe the stomach acid actually eats through the mucus all the way and then starts eating the stomach lining? What happens, do you think? Can anybody tell me? I'm looking it up. Hold on. It's in here somewhere. That would be in the digestive system, of course. Ah, there it is. Peptic ulcer. You develop an ulcer, an open sore. Open sore. Yes, ulcers. There you go. Glad somebody got it. Somebody got it. Yeah, peptic ulcers. If the stomach acid, hydrochloric acid, and pepsin, stuff like that, eat through the mucus that lines the stomach, it can start to eat through the stomach itself, and then you could develop peptic ulcers. And that's, oof. I love spicy food. That would be awful, awful to go through that. Shireen says something with the blood, maybe with the shrug. I don't know. That was my. Hopefully, that looked like that emoji. Okay, our body's second line of defense is yes, our leukocytes, our white blood cells. Pathogens, when they enter our body, are destroyed by phagocytes, cells that eat things. So when tattoo ink enters the body detects that as a foreign substance, something that shouldn't be there, something that doesn't belong there, right? And so it starts to, the white blood cells go into the area and start to eat the tattoo ink. And it's something that takes place over a very long period of time where there's just so much ink. And the ink, it's kind of hard for the white blood cells to break down. But eventually enough of the ink is broken down by the white blood cells that the tattoo starts to fade a little bit. And that's when you just go in and get get your tattoos touched up, and then your white blood cells are like, really, man, I just spent all this time. I just wasted years of my life eating this tattoo, trying to get rid of it, and now you're doing it over again? Come on, man. When you get tattoo removal done, you're not actually removing the tattoo. What the laser does is it actually breaks up the ink and makes it into really, really smaller pieces. And when it does that, then the white blood cells are able to remove the ink a little bit easier. So you're not actually getting rid of the ink, you're just kind of breaking it, shattering it, if that helps you kind of picture it, what goes on with tattoo removal. Um, and then eventually, like I said, the white blood cells, they will eat enough of the tattoo ink, just like me with, well, any food really, except tomatoes and zucchini. Ugh, gross. Like me with any food, they will eat it until the tattoo ink is gone. Eventually, over time, maybe you live long enough to where the tattoo is completely gone, all the ink is gone. But yes, your body's second line of defense is your immune system. And what's your third line of defense? We've gone through the first two. Of course, I can't leave it at that. What's the third line of defense? The last line of defense? What do you think? Does anybody know the third line of defense? So we've got our first line of defense, which is the skin and mucous membranes. It protects us from a lot of things, from physical trauma, protects us from stuff like radiation. When you go out to the sun, you are exposed to radiation all the time. It's our skin that helps to protect us from radiation. Right? Skin is a good thing. Protects us from bacteria and viruses and pathogens from entering our body, because we're exposed to that stuff all the time. All the time, everywhere you go, you're exposed to those kind of pathogens, bacteria and viruses. They're everywhere. Fungus too. You got fungus all over you and you don't even know it. But it's our skin that helps to keep it out of our body. Now, occasionally it can enter the body, unfortunately. Some of these pathogens actually, all they require is to spread, is to come into contact with the body. Something like tinea pedis or athlete's foot. Really, all it needs to do is come into contact with the body. Or warts. How about that? The human papillomavirus. All it has to do is come into contact with the body, and then it's there. So unfortunately, it's not perfect. So our second line of defense, of course, is the immune system. It destroys the pathogens and kind of gets the waste and debris and stuff out of our body. When I was a kid, when I was like 14, 15 maybe, no, I was like 13, 14. So I was still in middle school. Yeah, I was up on my roof. Not in this house, of course. Because if you've been following me on my channel for a while, you've seen me in like 3 or 4 different houses at this point. It seems like I'm moving every week. Anyway. So I was up on my roof. I was trying to climb down onto my wooden fence, and I slipped and fell, landed. I scraped up my arm. Maybe no, it was this one. Scraped up my hand and my arm and stuff. My neighbor ran over. He was like, "Are you okay?" Yeah, I'm fine. I guess I just got a couple splinters, and after a couple weeks, everything kind of healed, and so I thought. Anyway, so I was sitting in class one day, and I had like this little brown spot right here, and I was just kind of messing with it, and I was like, "What is this?" So I squeezed it, and out popped a little piece of wood that was kind of soggy and looked like it. It didn't look like wood, but I knew it was wood because that's what happened. So my white blood cells were trying to break that down. Now, if I had an excessive amount of bacteria in there, then I definitely would have noticed some pus. Pus is waste produced by white blood cells as they destroy the bacteria and stuff. So pus is actually kind of a good thing. That means your immune system is actually working. Okay, so after the immune system, like let's say I just got a flu shot. They put the virus into my body, so my body has responded to the virus. Why won't I get sick from the flu now? What do you think? What is preventing me from getting the flu at this point after I've had a flu shot? Even though I'm kind of stuffy. Our body's third line of defense, of course. How about antibodies? Antibodies. So our skin And mucous membranes are our body's first line of defense. They prevent things from really getting into the body and making us sick or hurting us in some way. If something does enter the body, like some sort, like I don't know, pneumonia, you get a pneumococcal infection. Our body's second line of defense is our immune system. Our white blood cells go into that area, they destroy that bacteria. And then our body's third line of defense to make sure we don't get sick from that again is the antibodies. So when we are exposed to something, like if we had the pneumococcal infection, we had pneumonia, and then we're exposed to it again a few weeks after we've recovered, we're not going to get sick from that because our immune system has developed antibodies that prevent us from becoming ill. So it knows exactly how to attack those pathogens to keep us from getting sick. So hopefully that makes sense. Kind of a long way to get there talking about my stupid Mario tattoo. I'm doing a video game sleeve. I'm a huge nerd and I love video games. Ever since I was a kid, I'm all about games. So I get I'm filling this arm with video game tattoos. Of course, you gotta get Mario if you're doing that. So I got my Mario there. And I get to Zelda there. It'll be a long process, which is why I need you to head over to eBay. I promise I got more important things to pay for than tattoos, but it wouldn't help. I need you to head over to eBay for every 10 copies of this book that I sell. The MBLEx Test Prep Complete Study Guide for the MBLEx 2019 edition. One person gets theirs for free. Mackenzie, if you are watching, you get yours for free. Final Fantasy? Absolutely not. No, I'm not that big of a nerd. Come on. Japanese role-playing games, I just can't do. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me, brother. So head over to eBay. Look for this book. Type in MBLEx Test Prep Complete Study Guide for MBLEx 2019 edition. Look for my name, David Merlino, LMT. Look for the seller, MBLEx Test Prep. Buy this book from me. When I sell 10 copies, one person gets theirs for free. Refunded. That's money out of my pocket. Going back to you. All you have to do, buy your copy. And you're, like I said, you're not going to find a better study guide. Look at this contracture. Look at that. Jeez. It's not even the pictures. I mean, the pictures are awesome. And I mean, I got practice tests. I got assignments in here. I got fun assignments. Some assignments are really boring. You're not going to find better kinesiology stuff in this book. And yes, that includes Trail Guide. It is better than Trail Guide, and this only has 30 to 40 muscles in it. I got 5 practice tests in here. Here's one of them. So it's only $29.99. You're not going to find a better deal. Go pick yours up from eBay. Please, please, please. I got plenty of them just sitting around. So go pick yours up. Go pick it up for sure. And I just taught you something. Isn't that worth going out and buying my? So I've been teaching you things all the entire live stream. I've been teaching you stuff. So. Any other questions while I'm still here? I'm not going to be here forever. Any questions you have, you got to send them right now because I could end it right now. There are 100 questions on the MBLEx. 100. They are all multiple choice questions. There are no true or false. There are no all of the above or none of the above answers. So you actually have to know the information for the most part. Now, of course, there are ways to increase your chances of getting a question right, even if you don't know the information, which I talk about in this book. Let's see. I'll go to that page. Study skills and test taking tips. Read that. And again, I have that podcast. I just did a podcast, which is on YouTube, by the way. You should go check it out. It's over an hour long, and maybe like an hour 15, an hour 20, something like that, where I talk about just studying and how to take tests and how to reduce test anxiety. if you're going to listen to one podcast and you are preparing for the MBLEx Test Prep podcast is it. And the one specifically about study skills and test taking tips and reducing test anxiety, that's the one you want to check out. When I was teaching, I had students who were so smart. I'm like, you don't even need to be in my class, in my review class. It was just, my class was a 40-hour review class where I teach everything that they learn, and then some, unfortunately. We go over all of that information. And then, some students, I'm like, yeah, you really need this class. You're probably going to take it a second time. Because maybe they're not taking it seriously enough, or they're just that far behind. Unfortunately, I used to work for a school who would just kind of push students through who shouldn't have been at the end of the program. They just liked money more than student success. I'm all about student success, which is why I want you to buy my study guide, the MBLEx Test Prep Complete Study Guide for MBLEx 2019 edition. Go to eBay, $29.99. You cannot find a better deal anywhere. Buy that book, please. I'm all about student success. So I'd have students in my class, and I'd try extra hard with those students. And sometimes there's only so much I can do. There's only so much I can do. You have to want it, basically. And a lot of students, unfortunately, didn't want it. Not as much as others. Some really wanted it. There was one student I had. Spanish was her first language. English was her second. When she started school, she didn't speak any English, like at all. And by the end of school, she was speaking English, but she still had kind of trouble understanding the language. It took her 4 attempts to pass back then it was the national exam, but it took her 4 attempts. And I think that test was even harder than the MBLEx. I mean, geez. But she did it. So she really wanted it. And I've lost track of her. I don't know where she is these days, but hopefully she's still doing massage and making a good living at it. I think she's somewhere in Chicago these days. I don't know. But she really wanted it. I had another student who also had really bad test anxiety, really bad. Like, I knew she knew the information, but once she got in front of the computer with all of the test questions, she would just lock up. And she would joke like, yeah, maybe I'll just hit a joint before I go in. Maybe that'll relax me. And hey, well, it's legal in Nevada now. So I don't know, maybe. Don't dope up before you go take the MBLEx. You want to be clear mind, of course. But it took her, how many, 4 attempts? 5, no, I think 5. I think she failed the national exam 5 times just because of her test anxiety. And then she took the MBLEx, because it was back when there were 2 options. You could take the national exam or you could take the MBLEx. So she failed the national exam 5 times, and then she took the MBLEx and she passed it. She was beyond excited. I'm like, man, like, I know you're excited, but you're pretty excited right now. But I guess I would be too if I spent that kind of money and just couldn't pass that test. So Amber says she found the MBLEx easy and hyped up. Listen, it all depends on you, how much you study, how much you know, how much you can grasp the information, how good you are at taking tests. I also didn't find the MBLEx terribly difficult, but that's just because I've been a massage therapist as long as I have. Back when I got licensed, everybody's like, wait, didn't you take it? Yes, I took it way after I got licensed, though. It was not required. We didn't have a state licensing board when I got licensed. It was only city licensing. So I was licensed by the city of Reno had a massage board. So I did my test through them and took their test. It was like 100 questions. I think I got 85% on it or something like that. Baby's crying. Baby's always crying. So when I started teaching, then first they hired me to teach the national exam test preparation course, and I had never taken the national exam, which made a whole lot of sense, of course. So I figured I should probably take this test. and I did, and I passed it, and it was just fine. I can't remember. I don't think they tell you. I don't think they told you what your score was if you passed it. Only if you failed it. That was so long ago. But eventually, the back in like 2014, I think it was, the national exam and the MBLEx made the FSMTB and the NCBTMB made a deal where the MBLEx would be the only licensing exam offered in most states, and the national exam would only do the board certification test, which I still need to take. I don't know what I'm waiting on. So I decided I got to take the MBLEx too. So I took the MBLEx, and yeah, I think the national exam was harder, but at that point, that was still like 3 years after I took the national exam. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just I had more fine tuning with this information. It's worded differently than a lot of tests that I've ever taken. The MBLEx, it's the way that whoever wrote the test, whoever wrote the questions in such a weird way, where it's not just like, what is this? Like what is this structure on the humerus? Or give you a picture of a disease. What is this disease? It's not like that, unfortunately. A lot of it is scenario based, where it says this person does this, and then this happens, and then this happens. What should you do in case of this circumstance, or something stupid like that? So it's a lot of, like I said, you got to know how to take tests. You got to be able to kind of break down those questions and really understand what they're asking. And then that makes it a lot easier. So in this book, I do have this book right here. MBLEx Test Prep, Complete Study Guide for MBLEx 2019 edition. I keep shilling. You know why I shill? Because I need to make money. I'm a small business owner, and I would love it if somebody would pick up my study guide. I do have critical thinking assignments in here that are meant to kind of mimic some of the questions that you'll have on the MBLEx. So I give you an entire scenario and ask this one specifically. I'm not going to read it. How about this? I'll read the shortest one. Sasha, which was the name of my cat when we adopted him. Sasha. Apparently he's Russian. Oh no, I just lost the page. We renamed him Bear Grylls. Bear Grylls after after Man versus Wild. Bear Grylls. I was obsessed with that show for a long time. Of course, I named my cat after Bear Grylls. Okay. Sasha brings a client in for a massage at the local day spa she works at. She has never met the man before, but he seems pleasant. She begins the massage working on his back. While working on the trapezius, the client begins making moaning sounds. Okay, whatever, maybe it feels good. This is a little strange to Sasha, but nothing she hasn't heard before. Because again, it's a massage. Everybody gets massages, right? Everybody just feel good. Like, oh, that's the sound I make when I first stand up in the morning and my back is popping all over the place. Maybe like that. Ugh. Suddenly, she feels the client's hand touch her thigh and move up towards her buttocks. Buttocks is such a weird word. What should Sasha do? What should Sasha do in that case? What do you think? What should Sasha do? Some guy moaning during a massage and grabs her thigh and starts moving it up towards her buttocks? What do you think? I know what I would do. Because this exact thing happened to me when I was massaging. Do I want to give the answer? Sasha should immediately leave the massage room and report the incident to the employer. The client should be escorted off the property and barred from returning. This type of incident, in which a massage therapist is physically assaulted, can happen to anyone and should never be tolerated. It's true. Yeah, kick that client out. You don't need clients physically assaulting therapists. So that's an example. That's the shortest scenario that I've got in that book. So if you are looking for a book that will prepare you for the MBLEx, this is the one, MBLEx Test Prep, Complete Study Guide for MBLEx 2019 edition. Go to eBay right now. It's $29.99. Buy it from the seller, MBLEx Test Prep. That's me. For every 10 that I sell, one person, just like Mackenzie earlier, gets theirs for free. Okay. Anyways, yes, some people are moaners. Yes, you stop the massage in the session, cover the body, step away in the massage. I wouldn't even cover the body. You just get out of there. You want to spend more time in there? At that point, I ain't worried about my client's comfort. Like, no, get out of there. Remove yourself from the situation as quickly as possible. If a client is touching you inappropriately, especially the ladies out there, get yourself out of there. Like, what did I do? I can't remember what I did. I think, it's one of those things I tolerate a lot more than I probably should, or I did, since I don't actually massage anymore. I just prepare people to be massage therapists. That's all I do. Okay. Mackenzie got their book for free. I will be refunding their purchase. You could be next. Go to eBay, buy a book from me, $29.99. I send it out like that day or the next day. For every 10 that I sell, one person is actually free. So when this lady, it was a lady that grabbed me, not a dude. So she started like rubbing my thigh, and I do talk about this a little bit in the podcast that I recorded. Like I said, I'll let you know when that's available. Definitely check it out when it's available. Should be later this month, maybe early next month. Within the next month, it'll be up. But she starts like rubbing my thigh, and I'm like, what's going on? So I just kind of guided her hand away from my thigh, put it back on the table. So I was like working on her triceps. At that, she was face down, working on her triceps. Her arm was off the side of the table. I'm working on it a little bit. She starts just rubbing away, trying to give me a friction burn or something. So I just put it back on the table. With these weapons of mass destruction. Nobody's hopefully going to try anything with me, but you never know. In a lady, I wasn't terribly threatened in that instance. I still let my manager know, of course, still reported the incident to the employer, made a note in our little employee logbook, like, don't book this person with David ever again. And I got a couple people where I said, yeah, don't book me with that person ever again, for a couple different reasons. But yeah. Anyway. So that kind of scenario that I just read, that can happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody, including me. Now, apparently, we one of our other therapists had heard her and a couple of her friends talking, that because we had like separate men's and women's sides where they would get dressed and wait for the massage and stuff. And they heard them talking, saying, "No, I have a guy. I hope he's pretty cute." Apparently, I am. So I take that as a compliment, but I take it as a compliment that she was willing to rub my thigh and sexually assault me during the massage. Whatever. Yeah, massage is fun. You got to protect yourself, though. I don't know. Take some MMA classes. Take some boxing classes. Some guy starts rubbing your thigh, just pop him right in the back of the head, and then he'll get him down. It's deportment. That's all. It's just deportment, you guys. Of course. I have no experience with the FSMTB study guide, so I cannot comment. I hear it's not very good, though. I hear it's just kind of a general outline. It doesn't actually teach you anything. But I don't know. That's just what I've heard. I don't know. Mine, however, this one, MBLEx Test Prep Comprehensive Study Guide for MBLEx 2019. I like this information. Look at that acne. All that's about acne and athlete's foot. Tinea pedis, like I was talking about earlier. Pick that up, eBay, $29.99. Buy it from MBLEx Test Prep, the seller. For every 10 that I sell, one person gets their copy for free. It's just that easy. If you don't see my name on the book, by the way, it's not mine. There are a lot of people. There are a couple other books that have stolen my MBLEx Test Prep name. How dare they try to pass themselves off as me? I'm MBLEx Test Prep. Look for my name. Don't buy somebody else's book. Don't do it. Well, that's great. I'm glad you feel more confident with my study guide. I knew you would, and that's why I wrote it just for you. Just for you. Yeah, I mean, that's I think unless anybody else has any other questions that they want to ask right now within the next couple minutes, I'm going to start wrapping it up. I do have to get dinner ready. Shireen, which question? Hold on. Oh, there it is. What would you do if the state send you your license even before you take the test? They sent you what? Hold on, which state was that? Okay, so for anybody that missed it, Shireen says that the state board sent her license before she's even taken the test. Illinois, okay. Did you ask why they sent you your license? Because that just doesn't make any sense to me. Why would they? Okay, maybe there's someone else with your last name, and they just pulled up the wrong file. Illinois, I mean that's a pretty populated state, right? So maybe I don't know. that's the only thing I can think of. You're even on the website. Well, how do they even get your information if you haven't passed the test yet? You shouldn't be applying until after you've passed the test. That's weird. Maybe they're did your school? Sometimes schools pay for your insurance, and then they maybe they sent your information to the state board. Your insurance information they sent to the state board. I don't know if your state board requires insurance, proof of insurance or not. I don't know. I do Uber on the side, and once in a while I pick up somebody that's having a bad day, and I ask, well, what's going on? And they tell me that they're having all these issues at work, and they hate customers and stuff. I'm like, well, maybe it's because of this. Maybe it's because of that. And one of them said, man, you're a great devil's advocate. I'm like, well, I just tried looking at it from all sides, I suppose. So I don't know. So they sent it to you while you were still in school. I have no idea. I have no idea. That's beyond me. The Nevada State Board of Massage has never done anything weird like that to me. Although one day, I mean, this isn't something weird that they did. Just me putting somebody in their place, I suppose. My wife and I, we're both massage therapists, so we both renew around the same time. We actually met in massage school. Fun fact. But they were doing this new thing. Where 2x2 on a white background. So I could take a picture right now of me doing this live stream, and that would work for my state license. Hold on, where's my wallet? Maybe I can show you my picture on my license. They send us these cards to keep in our wallet. There's your boy, Nevada State Board of Massage. That's how you know I'm legit. And there's my expiration date and everything. 2021. No, used to be every year. Anyway, so I mean that's an example. I just took that right up against this other wall. So we brought some pictures in like that the first year that they were starting to do that. Put actual photos on things because it used to be just your name and stuff. And the lady who was supposed to be accepting the license packet, she told us those pictures don't work. I'm like, what do you mean they don't work? Look at the description on the application. That meets all the criteria, doesn't it? No more than 2x2. It's on a white background. My son is coming into the room. Hello, Owen.
Hello, Father.
Oh, great. What's going on, boy?
Can I play on my PSP?
Yeah, I guess. Come here. Want everybody to see something. This is my dear son. And what do you have on, boy? No, you have to come here.
I have on a sling and an orthopedics bandage.
Why?
Because I fell off the first and my school's first grade and second grade playground, play structure, tall ladder, and
what happened?
I landed on my shoulder.
And what did you break?
My clavicle went a little this way to my shoulder.
You broke your clavicle. Which end of the clavicle did you break?
Here.
The acromial end.
Yeah.
Because it joins with the acromion process on your scapula right here. Yeah, so it's been a fun almost 3 weeks, right? Since you did that. And you're eating a cookie before dinner, I see. Yeah. Masticating that cookie. Okay, get out of here. I said get out of here. Oh, that was not safe. With your broken, hey, close the door. Your broken clavicle, you're jumping over stuff. You're gonna break. Oh, he's already got a break. Anyway, okay. Anyway, so we present this stuff to the state board, and we call the director over, and the director loved me because I had been meeting with her for a while about something happening at one of my previous employers, gender discrimination, stuff like that, where apparently it was okay for them to suspend me for giving a woman a body wrap just because I'm a man. Fun stuff. So she was like, I was like, is there anything wrong with these photos? And she looked at him. She's like, no. And we both looked back at the lady who was giving us trouble and just kind of smiled. She didn't say anything the rest of the time we were there. So state boards, I don't know, they're weird. Yeah, my boy eventually will be able to pass the MBLEx. I'm trying to teach him as much anatomy and physiology and pathology and stuff as I can. He's 6. He'll be 7 in a few weeks. I want him to know. I don't teach him. Like when we took him into the doctor for his clavicle, the doctor asked what happened, and he said, "Oh, I fell and hurt my clavicle." And the doctor was like, "That's weird. You're using actual anatomical terms." And the wife was like, "Yeah, my husband makes sure he knows all of those. So we don't say collarbone in our house. I don't say collarbone. It's ridiculous. Clavicle, phalanges, of course." So eventually he'll be able to pass the MBLEx. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun day. Do I include orthopedic testing in the study guide? Give me some examples of orthopedic testing that you are talking about. And while you're doing that, I see this other question. Shamanica, how do you study for the MBLEx if you didn't pass it the first time? I don't know. How did you study the first time? That's kind of the key. I need to know how you study, and that way we can kind of fix your studying habits. And I talk about studying a lot in this book. I promise I'm not going to keep shelling this book, even though I would really like you to buy it. I have an entire section in here dedicated to study skills. Here we go. Study skills right here, test taking techniques right here. So you will be way more prepared for the test. Tips on reducing test anxiety right there. Way more prepared for the test just by paying attention to that section all by itself. You're going to do better on the test. And then you throw in all of this awesome material. Forget about it. So orthopedic testing, I'm still waiting for an example. I'm not sure what specific testing you're talking about. Scratch test, slump test, Patrick's test. I ain't heard of any of those tests. And that's the first I've heard of any of that stuff being added to the MBLEx. So if anybody takes the MBLEx and you see any of that stuff on the test, let me know so I can maybe add it to my next book. But like I said, that's the first time I've ever heard of any of that stuff being on the MBLEx. God, that kind of stuff, that's more like physical therapy stuff. And I'm not sure why they would be testing you on physical therapy related tests in a massage therapy test. You know, okay. Okay. Don't listen to your instructor. Listen to me. If it's not in my book, don't worry about it. If I thought it was important to put in the book, it would be in the book. Okay. I studied all my notes from school and the books that were given. I have your MBLEx test prep book with 10 practice test flashcards. Okay. That book might be a little outdated. Just because I made that in 2017. A couple of years ago, I released that. Back then, they still had massage history in there on the MBLEx. So I gotta update that book. I've got so many books in the works. It's unbelievable. I'm working on a medical assisting book right now. That book is that is killing me because I'm not a medical assistant. So it's a lot of research and interviewing people that I know that are medical assistants, saying, "Well, what is this? What is this? What is this?" Like, I had a friend of mine who's writing a pharmacy tech book for me right now. I had him. He had to teach me how to calculate dosage because I don't do that stuff. I don't know how to solve for X. I mean, now I do because he's a good teacher and he taught it. But it's like this doesn't make any sense to me, brother. But he taught it to me, so it's just one of those things. How often do I do live streams? I don't know. As often as I need to, I guess. I was only planning on doing like 10 minutes today. It's almost an hour. Jeez Louise. I don't know, once every couple of weeks, maybe. I'm out and about, If you got a question or anything, send me an email, david@mblextestprep.com. I'm always here. Like I said, I work from home. Unless I'm out Ubering, then I can't really respond right then. But I'm almost always home. Definitely during the day, I'm always home. I got the kids and everything. Whatever. So send me an email. I'll answer your questions. Buy my book, by the way. This one, MBLEx Test Prep, Complete Study Guide for MBLEx 2019 edition. Go to eBay, $29.99 for every 10 that I sell. One person gets theirs for free. I do have a podcast. I think it's up to 17 episodes. I got to do more of those. It's just really hard with kids to throw one of those together. And I got all these books and stuff that I'm working on. It's like, once the medical assisting book is done, it's getting there. I'd say I'm about 70% of the way done with that right now. I think I've just finished writing the majority of it. Now I just have to write practice test questions for that book. Once that book is done, then like every day I can churn out a new podcast because I'll have a couple hours while the baby is napping to not do really anything. So I'll make sure I get more podcasts out there. More stuff is on the way. So stay tuned. Subscribe to my podcast, by the way. Any podcast service that you use. I personally use, it's called Downcast. It's this little red one right there. That's the one I use. I think it costs like $3, but whatever, it works for me. I don't like the Apple Podcasts app, but you should be able to just search for my podcast on any podcast app and subscribe to it. So when I actually do an episode, it pops up. Then you listen to it, you learn something, you're better prepared. Like I said, I got like 17 episodes, so there's probably about 15, 16 hours worth of stuff for you to listen to. Listening to me talk. And I've been talking for the past hour. Jeez Louise. Nice of people to actually, participate today. Because sometimes when I do these live streams, nobody talks, and it's just me talking and shilling my book. This one, MBLEx Test Prep, Complete Study Guide for MBLEx 2019 edition, $29.99 on eBay. For every 10 I sell, one person gets theirs for free. Okay, I'll probably only do that one more time, I promise. Studied all your notes from school. Okay, yes. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I get sidetracked a little easily. So again, I don't. That doesn't tell me how you study. Like, yeah, you study from your notes, but how do you study from your notes? Do you make flashcards out of your notes? Do you just read the information and then it goes in, and then immediately exits, and you don't really comprehend it? I got to know how you study before I can tell you how to study, if that makes sense. Send me an email, david@mblextestprep.com. Send me an email. We'll figure it out. Or just listen to the podcast that I've got on study skills, test taking tips, and reducing test anxiety. It's over an hour long, where it's just me talking about how to study and how to take tests and how to reduce your test anxiety. It's over an hour long. That's an hour of my life that I spent to prepare you to pass that test. So please subscribe to my podcast, listen to that episode, and you will be more prepared. I promise. Let the next one be on muscles or bones. I don't have any bones to show right now. Sorry. I don't understand origins and insertions. I did an episode on origins and insertions. I think that was my last episode. So definitely go listen to that. And that should help, I think. And if it doesn't, let me know. Send me an email, david@mblextestprep.com. Okay, so it is 6:30 local time out on the West Coast. Sun is still up for, I don't know, maybe 10 more minutes. Man, how do you people on the East Coast do it? 9:30 at night listening to me? Like, I'm tired of me, and it's only 6:30. Anyway, all right. So I'm going to call it an evening. I said one last time. MBLEx Test Prep, Complete Study Guide for MBLEx 2019 edition. Go to eBay, buy it from the seller, MBLEx Test Prep. That's me. That's me. Please buy it from me, so I get paid. Please don't let other people make money off of my work. Pay me. Anyway, buy my book. For every 10 that I sell, and it starts now, for every 10 from this point that I sell, one person gets theirs for free. Okay, so go buy it, please. You could get yours for free. It's only $29.99. That's half off the normal price. Half off. Not going to find a better deal than that. Go buy my book, please. Okay, so, and there goes some stuff off of the desk. I think a stapler and a little cardboard movie thing. I don't know what the wife has over here.
Hello again.
Oh, hey, boy. Hey, Owen has decided to join us one last time before I sign off. What, Owen?
Hello. I am on my PSP. I got from the mail.
You got from the mail? You got from me. You got that from me.
Oh,
I bought that for you. Thank you.
My dad, he bought it for me. I am playing Super Mario 64 on Nintendo 64. My dad installed all these weird games.
Yeah, I sure did.
I have 7 power stars now.
7 power stars.
7.
7 power. Yes. Jeez, get that out of my face. Okay. Yeah, I think you're done. Okay.
And I have lost my first tooth.
Yes, you lost your first tooth. He lost his first tooth the morning. Like 3 hours. Yes, right there. That's gross. Stop. Like 3 hours before he broke his clavicle. So that was a fun day. Anyway, okay, we are leaving. Say goodbye, Owen. Say goodbye to all the people.
Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye, everybody. If you have any questions, email me. And okay, last time, buy my book, MBLEx Test Prep, Complete Study Guide for MBLEx 2019 edition, $29.99 on eBay. Buy it from MBLEx Test Prep, the seller. And for every 10 I sell, one person gets extra.
Buy it.
Okay, get out of here. All right. Until next time. Adios.